Here is Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
I ran away for just a second. Couldn't make it back in time. Welcome to the Gridiron. If you give this video a thumbs up or maybe share this video, absolutely freaking awesome. If you subscribe to my channel, thank you. If not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. Next time if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose, right? But if you are subscribed, thank you. Also, in the description box below, very top link, if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. Takes you to my membership page, the top link. I got 3 different membership levels. Each one has their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you, sweet dear little baby Jesus. Thank you. Also, a little ways down in the description box, there's an additional link takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants to Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. We have over 9,400 members in the group. It's doing simply marvelous, growing daily. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I got internet access, I am putting stuff in this group darn near 365. It's called the New York Giants to Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You will not be dissatisfied. I promise. Woo! I'll tell you what, man, just when you think this dumpster fire just can't get any bigger, higher, the heat more intense, boy, they just threw another coal on the fire. Let me tell you, it's just gutless, heartless, pathetic, just absolute freaking of a joke. Absolute joke. I mean, it's like, listen to Daboll, afterwards, it's like, I mean, when it was Judge, Joe, you just lost 51-0 to the Seahawks. What happened? I got to check the tape out. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. You couldn't see on the sideline what happened to Joe? I don't know. We have to check tape out. With Daboll, it's now. We just got outcoached. Outcoached, that starts with me. I mean, it's starting to get a little old now, Coach. It's starting to get a little old. I mean, it's the Eagles, they're not the best team in the NFL, but they're certainly a decent team. And, with Saquon coming back, this was their Super Bowl. Coming in to MetLife. I mean, later on during the season, when we've got to play them again, I'm sure Saquon will go off for another 800 yards or whatever. But this one in our home, so this was their Super Bowl. This is it, right now. Boom. Right. And, just to come in and it's like, you don't have words for it. It's on. I mean, how long are we going to watch this garbage? Absolute trash. It's just, I mean, if we went in there and we lost, I mean, it was the same thing with Seattle, not Seattle, Cincinnati. They don't got a great defense. They don't. And you put up 7 points. That's. I don't care. I don't care what kind of meeting they had. I don't give a rat's rear end. I don't really care. They had a team, the defensive only meeting, and they all huddled together and sang Kumbaya and roasted marshmallows. But I don't care. Yes. The Bengals defense is not very good. I don't care. There's no excuse to put up 7 points. Same thing with the Eagles. I mean, this is not the 72 Dolphins. I'm sorry. Or it's not the 07, Patriots during the season when they were beating people like 812-0. They were just killing people. Good team. They're not the best team. I mean, there's no excuse. Absolutely no excuse. And it's not like it's his first year. It's his first game, 1 month in. I mean, he's been doing this for 2.5 years now. This is actually like his 40th game, regular season game, right? 17, and 41st with the playoff 42nd game. So he's 42 of these. He's coached. I mean, at home. As I said, if we would have lost to the Bengals 24-21, That would have stunk. Would have pissed you off. It would have been like, here's another one we could have won. We let get away. All that stuff. But I mean, you can at the end of say, oh, man, we could have beat them. We should have beat them. I mean, that's 3 points. 3-point loss to the Bengals. But I mean, not that it's never going to sit right with you. But it's like just 3 points. That was a close game. We could have, But I mean, the way we lost it, but it's like, what do we have? A bunch of kindergartners playing offense? It's like, I mean, this week too. It's like, I said, the Eagles have a good team. They got some very good players, and I said, they without question, they would. I mean, believe me, they would probably rather have gotten Saquon 800 yards rushing, which what he got, make Saquon look phenomenal than actually probably win the football game. Anyway, so this was their big game. This was so far for the season. This is a huge, what I mean? And so they were coming and fired up. And I said, once again, if you lost 27-21 to home, 27-20, 28-23 or something like that, once again, you kick the dirt. We could have won. I mean, but come on, man, 28-3. Are you kidding me? Are you? I mean, we made their defense look better than the 85 Bears. I don't know how that's humanly possible. I really don't. I have no idea how that's humanly possible. They came in with 11 sacks. I think they played five games because they had the bye weeks. They had 5 games. 5 games, 11 sacks. Basically, they had 2 sacks a game. Somehow they came into this game, and I think they got 8, I think it was. I mean, I think it was our first 6 drives. We had like 27 total yards. I mean, it's like, are you kidding me? Are you serious? And our 7th drive, I think that's the one that led to the field goal. I think it was. I said the only thing that was good in the whole game was we kept their streak alive. They still have not scored a point in the first quarter. They're 4-2. They've scored some points. They put up 20 points against the Browns, 15 against New Orleans, 21 was it against the Falcons. So they're not like an offensive juggernaut. I mean, but so we kept that streak alive. They still have not scored a point in the first quarter. That was the only thing one good old. I mean, it was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. I mean, we had what do we have? I mean, are you kidding me? We had 10 first downs, had 119 total yards of offense, 119 total yards. It was the same thing. It's everything. It's the Dallas game. Oh, Dallas, they give up 900 yards a game rushing. We ran the ball 24 times for 26 yards. Are you kidding me? And against the Bengals, the defense is not good. It's not very good. I mean, they did get. I don't care who came back. I don't care if they had Mean Joe Green, Bob Lilly, Reggie White, Dick Buckus, Lawrence. I don't give a rat's behind. I don't care who they got back. We scored 7 points. I don't give a rat. Yeah, I think they got Rankins back, and I think Hill was there. And this was Hill's Super Bowl too, because we traded him away to get Price. We don't have Price anymore, and of course they still have Hill. I don't care. I don't care. It's the same thing like with the Eagles. I don't care. We scored 3 points. I mean, once again, it's just the dumpster fire season continues. It is just simply absolutely amazing. It's the only consistent thing here is the inconsistency. That's the only thing. It's just total trash, absolute total trash. We go on the road against Cleveland, and we look good. We won. Right, and then you got the Minnesota. We scored 6 points. Dallas Of course, we lost that one. Because we couldn't kick any points. It's the Commanders because we lost our kicker. But I mean, then we go on the road. I mean, we're practicing. For the 12th man and all that. Nobody jumped off sides, we just kept walking up and down the field. We didn't have Malik Neighbors in there. We didn't have Singletary in there. I mean, if Eric Gray didn't fumble that damn ball and the guy ran it back, we could have literally, with about 5 minutes to go in that game, we could have been up 30-6 on the road in Seattle against the 12th man. 30-6. Even if you give them their points there at the end, it's still, I mean, it would have been 30-13, maybe. Right? I mean, but because then at the end of the game, they wouldn't have been kicking a field goal when they're down by 312 points. With about 5 minutes to go in the game, we could have been beating Seattle 30-6 on the road. No Malik Neighbors, no Singletary. Tracy got 100, almost 130 yards rushing. We just walking up and down the field on them. I mean, the defense, phenomenal, this, that. It's just shut them down and all this, that, everything. And it's like, oh, maybe, just maybe we're turning the corner. Oh, my God. Is this possible? Could we be this good? Wow. Oh, my God. Daboll's got these guys going. Oh, my God. The offense is rolling. The defense is just shutting people down. Oh, my God. Look how good we are. And we come home against the Bengals. It's just unbelievable. It is absolutely unbelievable. And this week too. I mean, so we played two teams that we certainly could have beaten both of them. What's mine? 45, right? 45? No, we got 45-10 last two games. We scored one touchdown, and Daniel Jones is a sixth straight game. I think I saw a stat in one of the Facebook groups going back to 1950. Daniel Jones is the only quarterback since 1950. Last time I checked, that's even before I was born. I'm 60 years old. We're going back 3/4 of a century. Daniel Jones, the only quarterback. That's if this, because there's a lot of stuff on Facebook as well. But there was a stat I saw on Facebook. He's the only quarterback since 1950 to lose 6 straight home games and not throw a touchdown pass in any of them. I mean, I didn't even know it's humanly possible. Go 6 straight home games without throwing a touchdown pass. Right? Actually, and in the last, 6 home games, right? We scored 1 touchdown. I didn't even know that was possible. We scored 1 touchdown. The Daniel Jones has been the quarterback of. We scored 1 touchdown. 1 in the last 6 home games that Daniel Jones has been. I mean, and I don't want to hear nothing about the Zudu. I don't want to hear the wide receivers are dropping balls. I don't want to hear any of that. If you go 6 straight home games and you can't not only win one of them, right, but you can't throw a touchdown pass, and there's a problem. There's a problem. I mean, he's dead man walking right there. I mean, We're going to go a little bit more in a little depth and detail in my next portion of the program. But, Dave says he's still the starting quarterback, so I guess he still gives us the best, as of right now, because the season is still not, we still haven't flushed the toilet yet. We still haven't officially flushed the season down the toilet yet. But it's getting there. I'm sure once we go, unless we go into Pittsburgh, maybe we go on the road. Maybe we'll beat Pittsburgh 52-0. Maybe that's the only thing. That's the only thing that makes sense from this season, right? But with the Steelers' good defense, that's gonna be tough. That'll be tough. points are going to be at a premium when we play the Steelers. But I said, the only thing I can think of is that since we have still have hope, right? Because we're still only 3 games out of first for right now. Yeah, so there's still hope for this season. We're still only 2-5. But so I guess that's why Daniel Jones is still, be the starting quarterback. But somewhere along the line, we'll get in a little bit more in depth and detail in our next portion of the program. But we had 10 first downs. The thing that just kills you is, they went for it 3 times on 4th down, but they were 1 for 13. See, the thing is that they were able to run the ball, and we couldn't stop them. So they went for it on 4th down, and made it every time 3 for 3. But they were 1 for 13 on 3rd down conversions, 1 for 13, and somehow they still scored 28 points. They're passing. They had 10 out of 15. We sacked them 5 times. So basically 1 out of every 4 times. Actually, our pass rush was even more effective than theirs, because we went back to pass about 50 times, and we got sacked. Was it 8? I think it was 7 or 8 times. So they were 8 out of 50. We sacked 5 out of 20. So our pass rush was even more effective. They couldn't pass the ball. They had that one to Brown, but that was about almost like half the yardage. They're passing yard. If you take the sacks away, they had 70 yards passing, I think it was. 70 yards passing. They averaged 3.5 yards per pass attempt because of the sacks got taken away. Right. But I don't know how they were 3 for 3 in the red zone. Right? We just couldn't stop them. 35 minutes of possession. But once again, they ran the ball, was it 45 times? 269 yards. Now, this is like going back, I think it was 2 years ago. The 2 games we played them, they ran for like over 500 yards. They had on us. It was over 400 in 2 games ran, and we just couldn't stop them. It was just, it was the same thing. It was just like. The thing is, it's like Kelsey's not there anymore. They're starting center. I would be shocked if he doesn't eventually wind up in the Hall of Fame. Balada's not there. They got some guy who was Fred Johnson, who was supposed to be a good run blocker. Okay, he's not a very good pass blocker, right? But run blocker, right? So. But it's like their starting center is no longer there. Their right tackle is out. So they got a backup tackle. And almost 270 yards rushing. And we just couldn't stop them. And you knew they were going to keep feeding Saquon. You knew that. It's just. We ran the ball 18 times for 76 yards, 4.2 yards a carry. But I think we ran the ball. I think I saw a stat. I think we ran the ball I think it was 4 times in the first half. We had 30-something. Once again, this was on Facebook. I think we had like 33 plays in the first half. And we ran the ball, I think, 4 times. It was like 4 handoffs, I think it was. It's like. Unbelievable. Absolutely just unbelievable. Daniel Jones was, and the guy, he was fighting for his life. But Drew Lock, he's 3 out of 8 for 6 yards, sacked 1 time. Daniel Jones sacked 7 times for 56 yards. Jesus God. Daniel Jones, 99 yards passing. Absolutely unbelievable. Unbelievable. We wound up with, after all the sack yards, we had 43 yards passing. Simply amazing. 43 yards passing. But then again, you look, I said the Eagles only had 70. So between the 2 teams, it was 113 yards passing between the 2 teams. I said, but it's they ran the ball 45 times for 269 yards. I was saying that too. I said the one thing we got to, with Saquon, we have to control. You can't make those long ones. Of course, he took for a 55-yarder. Said, his stats are elevated because he'll break a big one. Well, this one was different, but I mean, the other games, the other 5 games, he had like 3 nice long runs. You take those 3 long runs out, and he's averaging like 3.5 yards a carry. I mean, it's very pedestrian. But he breaks those long ones and obviously elevates everything. But I mean, at this one here, I mean, just unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. I mean, it's hard to watch. It really is. It's just total trash, absolute total trash. There's absolutely no excuse, absolutely no excuse at all. And the thing is it's like, what are you, I mean, it's like, what are you going to say? I mean, if you get your own quarterback in there, what I mean, I don't know. What is that going to do? If you get out coached and you get out hustled and out gutted and out hearted, I mean, I don't care if Jesus Christ is your quarterback. I don't care if Mahomes is back there. It doesn't matter. I mean, if you're playing gutless, heartless, pathetic football, who cares who your quarterback is? What does it matter? You know what I mean? It's just you just can't. Yeah, we got outcoached. Yeah, outplayed, outcoached. Yep, starts with me. I mean, you just can't say that every week. I mean, it's just, I mean, these are games you should win. If not win, you should be close. 28-21, 28-24, 28-23, 27-21, something like that. If you lost that, once again, it would stink. It would bother, all that stuff. But all right, we lost by 6 points. I hate that. Same thing with the Bengals. It's got some good offense, yada yada yada. If we lost 27-23, 24-23, 24-21, once again, it would hurt. It would sting. It would bother you. It would piss you off. All that stuff. But it's like, okay, we lost 3 points. It's a good game. It was a good game. Tell you what, that was we lost a tough one. We're close, but still not quite there. But I mean, 17-7. I mean, are you serious? We scored 10 points in the last 2 home games to 2 not very good defenses. 10 points. As I said, Daniel Jones, 6 straight home games. He has not thrown a touchdown pass. And I said, I don't care. We've had drops. I don't care if we got a Zudo in there. It doesn't matter. If you're a decent quarterback, right, and you can find the open guy, whatever, like the This is your 3rd year under the problem he had before. All right, one of the problems is that he had 2018 he was at Duke, 2019 he had Shermer, 2020, 21 he had Judge, 2022 he had Daboll coming in. So I mean, 19, 20, he had in a matter of 5 years he had 4 different offensive systems between 2018 to 2022. 5 years he had 4 different systems. I mean, that was good, but this is his 3rd year in the same system. 3rd. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what Shermer did. Don't know what Shermer did to get 24 touchdown passes out of the guy. I mean, we did have Saquon. For the 2019 season, at least most of it anyway. But I don't know what Shermer did, but he got 20. Daniel Jones started 12 games. In those 12 games he started, he had 24 touchdown passes. We can't even get him to complete 24 passes in a game now. I mean, much less 24 in a season. I mean, it's just absolutely unbelievable. Yeah. So, which leads you to this. What about Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan? What about him, huh? Well, Daboll still says that Daniel Jones is the starter, and I'm sure he still gives us the best chance, to win, to be victorious. Kind of makes you wonder. Also, is that it is a little difficult for Drew Lock. He's just coming in. but 6 yards passing. I think he had eight throws, and he had 6 yards passing. He had, I think, a fumble, a sack, 3 for 8, 6 yards. It's like, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he felt obligated to have to put Locke in there because they're paying him some money. He's the backup. Right? So I want you to, you know. But he did say Daniel Jones is going to be the starter because, I mean, as of right now, we still have a season. We're not officially eliminated from the playoffs yet. Right? We still got a chance to win the division, yada, 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 all that stuff and everything. So Daniel Jones obviously gives us the best chance to win. It just kind of makes you think. It's kind of like, you know, is there a point in time? I mean, because, you know, it doesn't seem like Locke's the answer there. Yeah. It doesn't seem Daniel Jones not the answer. So the thing is that, you know, I'm kind of wondering, would they want to somewhere along the line put Tommy Chicken Cutler Parmesan in there? I mean, he did win us half of our football games last year. He won 3 of our, you know, I mean, there was a couple of games we, you know, hey, he drove us down the field and we beat the Packers. I mean, that was unbelievable. You know, we had other games too. I mean, the Nolans game. I mean, he just looked totally out of his element. I mean, New Orleans, they were sacking him left and right. He didn't look good, and they were making fun of him, New Orleans, and all that stuff and everything. Tommy Chicken Cutler Parmesan went against the Jets. I don't even think Daboll even wanted him to throw the ball in the Jet game last year. So I'm just kind of wondering because somewhere along the line, because Daniel Jones has an injury guarantee. So if we're say we're 2-12. Hard to believe, right? Just say we're 2-12. Do you want to keep putting Daniel Jones out there? Because it's like if you put him out there and he gets injured and he can't pass a physical, I think it is for next year or something, he's guaranteed so much money. Right? You want that, or are you gonna, you know, if the season is over with, you're gonna say, guys, I'm gonna put Tommy in there, see what he could do. Yeah, I mean, because if Tommy's gonna be your backup. I mean, once again, you don't even know. I mean, if this keeps happening, I mean, if this just can't, I mean, you can almost, if we just keep getting dismantled like this game after game, it's, you know, we kind of wonder if the Daboll's even going to be back, you know. But it'd be interesting to see if they put Tommy in to see if he can be at least maybe a backup. For a backup for the Giants for next season, or maybe a backup for another team, you know. But so it'd be interesting to see if somewhere along the line, if Tommy Chicken Cutler Parmesan actually winds up getting put in there. But this here is from Paul Schwartz. Daniel Jones giving the Giants almost no chance to win with end finally in sight. There are so many debates and arguments and snide remarks that can go into all of this, with the state of the Giants being what it is, just straight up trash. It's almost impossible to hear what Brian Daboll said on Monday regarding Daniel Jones and come up with spirited and passionate rejoinders, suggesting he is not seeing this clearly. I think he gives us the best chance, Daboll said. If you are so inclined, feel free to add. Best chance to do what exactly? Lose, maybe? I don't know. This was Daboll's way of reiterating what he declared a day earlier, only minutes after the Eagles had danced over, through and around the Giants, with Daboll calling all the plays. Once again, treated the end zone as the Giants and Daboll and Jones and all that treated the end zone like it was contaminated, a place to steer clear of at all costs. Daboll took Jones off the field and sent in Drew Lock, the backup quarterback, in for the final 11-26 of the 28-3 loss, hoping to create some type of juice and maybe make a few plays and swing the momentum a little bit. Of course, that did not happen. Without prompting, Daboll, in his post-game remarks, said Jones remains a starter going forward. So that was smart of Daboll's part. Indecision at the quarterback position is no way to run a team. And Daboll is right about Jones giving the Giants the best chance to win. Now, for the hard part, what this franchise now must know is that Jones does not give it a chance to win often enough, and that there will be a new quarterback starting games for them in 2025. It was always going to be a long shot that Jones made it to the 7th year with the team that overdrafted him at number 6 overall. The desire to find the next Eli Manning, obviously, of course. Yeah, that was not Shane. Good old Gettleman. It is here and now that matters, and Jones is here now, but not much longer. Daboll and general manager Joe Shane inherited Jones, and the plan after the 2022 playoff season was to sign Barkley to a multi-year deal, then have the franchise tag available to swing at Jones in case he was going to play unrealistic financial hardball. A deal could not be worked out with Barkley, and the tough decision at the time would have been to let Barkley test the market and use the franchise tag on Jones, giving him security for only one more season. One prove it again season. Well, I mean, this is all, it's all stuff. It's, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. If we would have signed, we would have kept Barkley, but then we couldn't have maybe possibly upgraded the offensive line. Yeah, now you signed Barkley to maybe 15 a year to keep him away from the Eagles, right? But you can't upgrade the offensive line, or maybe you couldn't have Runyon or whatever like that. So then of course, all the naysayers would have been, "What, you didn't upgrade the offensive line?" It doesn't. I mean, right? Or if we had Barkley in there and he wound up getting injured again, what are you paying Barkley for? What are you stupid? I mean, it's a no-win proposition. If you let Barkley go and he winds up playing really well, you're stupid. If you keep Barkley and he doesn't play well, you're stupid. If you keep Barkley and you pay him and he gets injured, you're stupid. It's a no-win situation for Shane. But I mean, obviously now, if you look back, hindsight's always 20/20, yada yada yada. He obviously should have. At the time, Saquon was our best player. He was our biggest threat. He was obviously one of the biggest reasons why we had the success we did in 2022. Because he was back there, right? You got a stud back there, helps open up the passing game a little bit, right? Guys got to keep an eye on the box. Maybe get an extra guy in the box to prevent, because you don't want Saquon busting free. You get him out there. I mean, he's going to make guys miss. The best thing to do is keep him contained. Don't let him, right? So that's one of the huge things, right? And the thing was, it was like with, and I get it. Obviously hindsight's always 20/20. It's like, it was so stupid. We let him go. He gets injured almost every year. He's in his 7th season. Between his touches and in college and all that, he's had a lot of touches. Guys. Shane says, guys, they start, 7th season where the production starts kind of going down a little bit. He's only played 6 games so far, right? So he's done very, very well. But I mean, hey, he still get injured. He's still got 11 games to go. He can get in. Something could happen for him. But I mean, the one thing you can always look at it too is that, I don't know what Shane would have gone with, or what, how much he would have wound up paying, Saquon. But it's not like Saquon's a wide receiver, and Shane was like, Saquon's like a number 1 wide receiver, and Shane's like, we only got $20 million to give you. And of course, Saquon's such a stud wide receiver, he wants 35. And there's a huge gap. He's a running back. I mean, if you could have gave him, I don't know if he was leaving, if he wanted to leave, who knows? So I mean, if Shane would have blown him out of the water by maybe giving him 14 or 15, maybe Saquon'd still be here. But you also look at it too, is that he's our best player. He was our best player. He was our best player, right? And I mean, we're paying Andrew Thomas over $20 million. We're paying Sexy Dexy over $20 million. Daniel Jones, paying him 40. Well, what's Malik Neighbors going to want? What's he going to want? 35 or 40 by the time right? So we're paying these guys 20, 30, 40 million, whatever. Right? Burnsy's making almost 30. And I said in a few years, Malik's going to want 35 or 40. Right? So we're paying these guys, but our best weapon, the guy that scares the other team's headache guy, right? As Paul Latino says, a headache guy. Only wants, they give him 15. You would still have your biggest headache player. Now, could you imagine if we had Saquon back there, and you got Malik Neighbors out there? We got Wandale, Slayton, Malik, but we got Saquon back there. Now you got yourself, okay. Now you're only like maybe a good good receiving tight end away from having a nice threesome, or another number one wide receiver or something like that. You know what I mean? That would be nice. That would really be nice. So I mean, once again, hindsight's always 20/20. It's always like, oh, he's stupid. You should have paid Saquon, but. And the other thing, of course, it all came out on Hard Knocks as well too. Shane's like, Daniel Jones, he said, of course they were talking about, with Saquon, and so Shane wound up looking like an idiot. He was talking about with Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is, his job is to whatever, I forgot what it's, throw pass, something like that, not turn around and hand the ball off to a $13 million running backer. Or something like that, whatever, and so he's making, I don't know, he's kind of making fun of Saquon or making just his age or whatever it was or something. But so Shane wound up looking like an idiot, But the thing is that your best weapon. As I said, we got these wide receivers out there. Dak Prescott's getting $60 million. They just lost 47-9, and they just paid him $60 million a year. Our best weapon only wants 15 or 14, whatever. As I said, if we threw 14 at him, whatever, 12 million, 11-year guaranteed or something like whatever. If we could have beaten the Eagles, maybe he's still, right? This offense would be a lot different if we had Saquon back here. I mean, we still got Tracy and all that, but Tracy's not Saquon. So. Is what it is, but it'd be interesting to see as the season goes along, right? Does Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan, does he wind up getting a chance? Right? When is the point in time where they wind up pulling the plug on Daniel Jones, right? And then if they do pull the plug on Daniel Jones, do they turn around and hand the ball off to Drew Lock? All right, well, buddy, you're our backup. Let's see if you can do anything. And then they turn around and hand the ball off to Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan if Drew Lock can't get nothing going? Or do they just strictly bypass Drew Lock and go right to Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan? So the thing is that, because if we keep getting blown out, I can't see any way in HEL double hockey sticks how Daboll will still actually have a job next season if we just keep getting it, because we're not getting better. We're getting worse. Somehow we upgraded the many positions, right? And we're a worse team somehow. So the thing is that do they want to have Tommy come in and see if he can be an adequate backup? Especially, but if Daboll's not going to be here next year, would he wind up doing something like that? Who knows? But I mean, obviously, Daboll knows a heck of a lot more than I know. A heck of a lot more. Plus, he knows, he knows, what I mean, what Tommy can do and can't do and all. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. But I mean, obviously, right now, what Daboll says is that Daniel Jones still gives us the best chance to win. The season's not over with yet. We still got a chance for the playoffs. We still got a chance for a decent season, yada, yada, yada. So he's going to keep rolling it with Daniel Jones. So. Well, then I saw another thing there is that, if we're going to like keep Evan Neal just like on the side and not play him and use him and yada, 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 it's like, I saw this article here. Well, might as well just trade him. I mean, if they're not going to use the guy, right? Right. I mean, I'll tell you, because of Zudu, he gave up a couple sacks. I mean, he just, still looked a little bit out of his element there. What did he graded out at 59 overall. His run block was a 46.9. His pass blocking somehow was a 65.6. So he had some goodness to him, but he gave up, according to PFA, he gave up 2 sacks. So, which is not, he gave up a hurry. He gave up 3 pressures. So, what do we have? 43 pass blocking snaps he had. So 43. So he gave up 3 pressures. So that's not very good. Not very good at all. So, but I saw this is that, this reporter questions Giants' usage of key draft pick. If you're not going to use them, just might as well trade them. Now, the thing is also, you got to keep in mind, obviously, is that, he's coming off of, he had surgery. He's been able to play for a little while now, so kind of makes you wonder why they're not putting him in there. So it's kind of, I don't know. It's like it would have been worse to take Illuminor, I guess, to take Illuminor from left tackle. I'm sorry, my bad. From right tackle, put Illuminor at left tackle, and slide your first-round draft pick in at right tackle. That would have been worse than keeping Illuminor where he was at left tackle and putting Zudu in there at left tackle. Illuminor at right, Zudu at left. I guess, upsetting the apple cart. I guess it would have been too much. I mean, once again, I know he just came from, coming from surgery and all that stuff and everything. But the guy is he really that far off? I mean, pick number 7 in the draft. I mean, I thought if the guy's the guy's like able to, I thought you'd be like almost foaming at the mouth to get this guy in there. It's like pick number 7, and he still can't. I mean, let me see here. I don't even know if he's played a snap this year. Evan Neal. Okay, let's see here. 2024. I mean, this is special blocking, special. They got special thing. No, snaps by position. Has he been in there? No. I mean, a jumbo package. I mean, well, we haven't been down at the goal line very often, but I mean, then again, we have had the Fab 5 in there for the most part the whole time. So, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, Andrew Thomas goes down. You got pick number 7 in the draft. I mean, I thought you'd be like, So I guess Daboll was thinking it's like the worst of 2 evils is like, I don't want to put Neal in there and slide his Illuminor over to left tackle where he played a little bit last year. He's familiar with it. I guess that would be the worst of two. He would much rather keep the Fab Four in place and just put a Zudu over their left tackle. I don't know. But, I mean, it's like, I mean, no special teams, no field goal. I mean, anything, nothing. Field goal try, now to keep him on the offensive line to bring Neal in, nothing. I mean, anything. I mean, how about hold the field goals? Anything. I mean, you pick number 7 in the draft, and the guy hasn't had a snap yet. Wow. So they got this article here. It's like, well, yeah, I'm going to trade him before the trade deadline. Right? I mean, you only got a couple weeks. I don't know what you're going to get for him, but you know, I'm sure it'd be more than just a 7th round pick or something. But I mean, wow, the guys getting on the field. So the Giants' biggest issue right now is figuring out how to best replace, obviously, Andrew Thomas, who will miss the remainder of the season. Yay! The first opportunity was given to backup tackle Joshua Zudu, but similar to when the former 3rd-round talent was called upon in 2023, Zudu crashed and burned as the starting left tackle against the Eagles with a poor pass rush win rate of 82.1%, according to ESPN's Jordan Renan. Now, if you go to PFF, his win rate was higher, but performance like that aren't good enough when you have Daniel Jones at quarterback. That's true. If only the Giants spent this is where they make a joke. If only the Giants spent the 1st round pick on an offensive tackle in recent years. Oh, wait, they did. And New York Post reporter Ryan Dunleavy questioned the usage of the 2022 first rounder Evan Neal since Thomas's injury. Moving Illuminor to left tackle, for veteran signing Chris Hubbard to start at right tackle, making Evan Neal offensive tackle 5, OT 5, would really be bold, Dunleavy said. In response to the post from the Athletic's Dan Dugan that noted that it seems like Neal isn't even in the equation. Holy crap. To start at either offensive tackle position. Holy crap. That happens, might as well trade Neal for a 7th round pick. Oh, so they think a 7th round pick. Okay, I thought maybe they can get a 5th or a 6th for the guy, but wow. I'll tell you what, I'd almost be positive that if Neal went to the right place, I mean, like if the Eagles traded for him, because if you get someplace with a good offensive line coach, I bet you they can get something out of him. Trade a 7th round pick to the Giants. I mean, for Evan Neal, Giants pick him 7th overall, and they get a 7th round pick in return for him, and then he winds up going to another team and doing really, really good. But I mean, it's almost, it's like you don't get him on special, as I said, like special, like field goal kick, right? You need a couple big horses in there to do some blocking, right? You want to put him in there? No, nothing. Anything? How about a water boy? Anything? Have him carry some water around. I mean, anything. How about after the kickoff, he can run out to the middle of the field and pick the tee up and run back on? Anything at all. I mean, the guy's picked number 7 in the draft. This is not bidding well for Shane. I mean, you know, he's had some good draft picks, but wow. You pick a guy number 7 overall, and he can't even get on the field. Wow. Now, be a little bit fair to Shane. That was his first year. I don't think that was his scouting, the department. He kind of came in, and he's kind of coming in. Oh, I'm Joe Shane. Oh, you're my scout. Oh, okay, how you doing? Oh, you're my scout. Oh, nice to meet you. Oh, you're my scout. Hey, how's it going? But I mean, so he's kind of meeting his scout. You know what I mean? And then they made their pick. So it wasn't until like last year and this year that Shane kind of had more of a better idea. I think he had more of his own guys in, or he maybe let some guys go and brought some of his own guys in and stuff, as we can see. But I mean, that's a pick number 7 in the draft, and the guy came to get on the field. Holy crap. Wow. There's clearly zero confidence in him. This has all started with an injury. Although Dunleavy's comment could be a bit tongue-in-cheek, he brings up a great point. The Giants don't trust Neal enough to play him now with Thomas injured and the season basically on the line at 2-5. Because it is. I mean, you go 2-6, 2-7, forget about it. It's over. We're not going to run off the last 8 games of the season. That ain't happening. Absolutely not. So if he's not on the field with the season on the line and we're 2-5, when will they ever trust enough him to start him again? Probably never. I mean, Neal played left tackle at Alabama. Some have speculated that his transition to right tackle has hurt him in the NFL pro. As an NFL pro, perhaps 2024 is an opportunity to see if he can still perform on the left-hand side. Ta-da! Right? Maybe put him over where he was at. Right? Ta-da! There were 2 reasons to try out Neal at left tackle for the remainder of the 2024 campaign. One, Zudu isn't getting the job done, and his struggles are ruining this offense. The second reason, and perhaps the more important one long-term, is to increase Neal's value again. As of now, Neal is a backup right tackle that never sees the field. He has next to no trade value, as Dunleavy alluded when he suggested the Giants should trade him for a 7th-round pick. There's no exaggeration either. Neal is currently viewed as a bust, and why would any organization trade worthwhile draft capital for a bust of a prospect that's most likely heading toward the free agency in a couple of years? The short answer, they wouldn't. At the very least, showcasing Neal at left tackle could increase his value. Let's say he succeeds. After all, his trade value can't get much lower. Thomas is the long-term left tackle. No one is disputing that, but the Giants must turn Neal into something considering that he was a top 10 selection. The Thomas injury provides a clear opportunity to do so. Now, the thing is also is that if he just can't get on the field as a tackle, okay, things happen. I mean, what about Eric Flowers? Anybody, ding, 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 ding. Anybody kind of remember him? When did he, I'm not going to say flourish and prospered, but when did he do decently well? Answer, when he was a guard. I think it was, I think, I'm an idiot, so I forget a lot of things, right? But I think they asked him to try the guard position, and he said, no, I'm not gonna. So when he went bye-bye, it's, beggars can't be choosy. It's like, all right, Eric, okay, we'll sign you, but you're going to be a guard. It's our way or the highway, buddy. If you want to get paid, if you want a little do-re-mi, right, you're playing guard. There's no, if you say no, okay, well, we're not signing it. You know what I mean? So, but with the Giants, obviously his money was all guaranteed, right? It was, 4 years, it was pick number 9, back-to-back great picks. Him and Eli Apple, bang up picks, man. 2015 and 16, man. Our 2nd-round picks wound up being better than the 1st-round picks. I mean, that's horrible drafting. But anyway, Flowers, we had him for 4 years. His money's 1st-round pick, guaranteed money, right? So no, sorry, not gonna, no, I'm not going to guard. So, I mean, they don't have to play him, or they can cut him or whatever, but, his money was guaranteed, right? But when he's out in free agency and he's jonesing for a job, right? It's like, hey, Eric, well, you suck at tackle. No, we'll give you a try. We'll give you some money, sure, but you're playing guard. It's either you play guard or you go F yourself, right? What's it going to be, So if he's jonesing for a job, jonesing for some money, I'll try guard, So Now, I mean, I don't know if they, I don't know. I mean, what are they? Yeah, I mean, if he's not working at a tackle, what are they? What's I don't know. I mean, we're going to get him practice for another 300 years, and then he might be on to something after when he's about 432 years old. Maybe he might be a good enough time. If he's not catching, why don't you try slide him in to guard? I mean, I don't know. I mean, obviously, once again, I don't see anything. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know what's going on in practice. I don't know any of that. You know what I mean? But it's like, if he's not making it a tackle, if he's just, oh no, we're just gonna have him stay at tackle and just practice a tackle for the next 3, 4, 5 years, and then hopefully he'll be okay. I mean, if it's not working, I mean, I don't know. But I said it is. It's what they were talking about in that article. It's like, maybe. See, I mean, putting him out there could also backfire too, because if you put him out there on national TV, and everybody's like, yeah, he still stinks. I mean, nobody's going to trade you, and nobody's going to give you a bag of Doritos for the guy, right? But I mean, it's like, he's pick number 7. He's got the size. I mean, the guy's like a sequoia tree. Was he 6'7", 300 and whatever? I mean, I was trimmed down a little bit, I think. But I mean, the guy looks like a sequoia. He's just, there's no fat on him or nothing like that. He's just like straight up and down. He's a huge. I mean, I'm sure somebody out there can use them. I mean, especially if they, maybe they may not be okay for an NFL tackle. Okay, well, I'm sure somebody will try him in there at guard. Probably maybe get the best out of him, where he doesn't have to worry about, worrying about blocking somebody running around, him a tackle, right? If he can stay in a phone booth, right? He's as big as those, as Sexy Dexy, right? Maybe he's not quite as strong or whatever, but he's almost as big as a Sexy. A lot of those interior, the 3 techs or the nose tackles, he's as big as those guys, as heavy as those guys are, and he's in a phone booth. He doesn't have to, step back, So, but yeah, I said, I mean, it's got some little bit of merit to it. If you're not going to use the guy, I mean, at least maybe trade him. I mean, once again, there's 340 trillion things that go on behind the scenes. And so, I mean, that certainly does not mean that Shane is not picking the phone up and trying to dish his services off on, hey, you interested in Evan Neal? No, okay. Hey, you interested in that? You know what I mean? So the thing is that the Giants do have a little bit to their advantage with Evan Neal, is that he's unlike Slayton, right, or Ojolari, right? I think maybe Pinnock, McCann, some of those guys who are going to be free agents at the end of the season, right? We still got Neal for at least another year. So it's not like we gotta get rid of him, and and if we don't get rid of him, at the end of this year he's going to hit free agency, and we're going to get nothing for him. No, you know what I mean? Because a lot of the clubs they know that. Oh, we're not trading you nothing. Nope. So what we're going to do is we're all going to sit here and wait for you to call all the teams on the phone to try to trade him. Nobody's going to want him because they know you got to get rid of him at the end of the season. So once you get rid of him at the end of the season, then we'll try to secure his services, by picking him up through free agency. Well, that's not the case with Neal. He'll still be a Giant next year, right? So there's no huge pressure for Shane to get rid of him right now, But it just kind of makes you wonder, what the heck is going on with the guy? I mean, he's picked number 7 in the draft, and he can't even make it on the field. And for special teams, nothing. Wow. That's hard to believe. All right. Well, we're starting to head there, but we're still not there yet. Still not quite there yet. Is this the Giants' worst offense of all time? Nah. Not quite. I grew up in the 70s. Then I'm going to look at it. I think we had back-to-back 12-point seasons. So, I mean, we're heading there. You give us another couple of weeks and we might start plummeting. that way. But as of right now, what are we averaging there? Points per game. We're averaging 14. So, well, let me just rattle off some, so we're averaging 14 points a game. Okay. But let me rattle off some numbers in the 70s. Okay. Especially the 75s and 76 seasons. I mean, they were even worse. So 71, we were 4-10, right? We were 16 points a game we averaged. Okay, 72, we were good. 72, we were 8-6. So 72, I'm not even going to bother. 73, we were 2-11-1. So 73, what was that? 16.1 points per game, 2-11-1. 74, we were 2-12. What did we average in 74? 74, 13.9. Now you got 75 and 76. 75, we actually went from 2-12 to 5-9, but we still couldn't score any points. So 75, with a record of 5-9, we were 15.4. Okay. Oh, maybe it's 76 and 77. We had back-to-back 12. 76 was unbelievable. It was unbelievably horrible. 76, we actually won 4 games in a row without scoring a touchdown. 4 in a row without scoring a touchdown. So, but 76, we were 3-11. And we averaged 12.1 points per game. Let's see here. We lost 24-7 to Minnesota. And we lost 27-0 at home to the Steelers. That got Bill Arnsparger fired. We were 0-7 at the time. Halfway through the season, we're 0-7. Bill Arnsparger got fired. Warren McVay, our new coach, he was here for the rest of 76, 77, and 78. And after the Miracle of the Meadowlands 78 season, all that, he was gone, and that's what we brought Perkins in. But so after we lost 24-7 to the Vikings, we got shut out at home to the Steelers 27. We lost 10-0 to the Eagles. Then we lost. Oh, I'm sorry. Then we lost 9-3 to the Cowboys in Dallas. I remember that game. We got down there. We could never score a freaking touchdown. It was unbelievable. But then we won our first game. We were 0-9. We finally beat the Redskins. They beat us 11 times in a row. Actually, George Allen, their coach, was the coach of the Rams and the coach of the Redskins. So between the Rams and the Redskins, when he coached both those teams, he beat us 14 times in a row. 66, 68, and 70 as the coach of the Rams. And then 71, he became the coach of the Redskins. 71, 72, 73, 74, 75. The first game of 76. So 10 and the first game of 7. So 11 times in a row as the Redskins. We finally beat them. We beat them 12-9 at the Meadowlands, 12-9. So that was our first win of the season. We were 1-9, but we still went. That was our 4th game in a row, no touchdowns. Then the following week we lost to Denver, 14-13. Yeah, but I mean that was just a horrible season. 76 was just that. So we scored 12.1 points per game, and 77 was just as bad. 77, we went from 12.1 to 12.9 points per game in 77. Let's see what happened there. 77. Yeah, just a bunch of low scores, and we scored 3 points, 10 points. We got shut out. Somehow the Cardinals shut us out. The Cardinals did not have a good defense. Oh, we got shut out. That was Monday Night Football. We got shut out on. Yeah, I remember that. We lost 28-0 in 77 to the Cardinals, and then I think in 79 we lost 27-0. We lost back-to-back games on Monday Night Football. We lost 28-0 to the Cardinals, and in 79 I think it was. We lost 27-0 to the Redskins. Just unbelievable. We scored 10 points. We scored 10 points. We scored 7 points. We scored 9 points. We scored 13 points. We scored 13 points against Cincinnati in Cincinnati. And it was in the snow. I remember that game. But we just a lot of low scoring games. Just score. Then 78 and 79. Let's see, what are we? So 76 and 77, we had back-to-back 12-point seasons. All right. So 78, we went up to 16 points a game. Ooh. And in 79, we went back down to 14.8 points per game. And then in 80 went to 15.6 points per game. So, this offense right now is obviously we're at 15 or 16 points per game, whatever it was. Now, of course, a 7-point game against the Bengals and a 3-point game against the Eagles. Obviously, our points per game total is obviously plummeting, right? No shocker there. But I would still have to say, without question, that our teams from the 70s were just because we really had nobody. I mean, actually, we had Craig Morton for a couple of years, 74, 75, and 76. I mean, he was not a bad quarterback. He could throw the ball. He was a statue. He needed protection. We had no running game. We had no star wide receivers. Ray Rhodes, and we had Walker Gillette, and Bob Grimm and Don Herman, and we had no star wide receivers at all. We didn't have, we had Bob Tucker, but I mean, as far as some of these other teams had phenomenal offensive lines, great wide receivers. I mean, look at the Steelers. They had a Hall of Fame quarterback, a Hall of Fame center. They had a Hall of Fame running back. They had 2 Hall of Fame wide receivers. They had 5 Hall of Famers on their offense. Giants ain't Hall of Famers. You kidding me? Yeah. So I mean, Craig Morton could throw the ball. He could throw the ball, but we couldn't block. He got sacked a ton because he was not mobile. He was a statue back there. Right? That's why in 77, he went to the Broncos, and what happened? He took them to the Super Bowl. They got killed in the Super Bowl, but he took them to the Super Bowl. So he was a decent quarterback. Actually, he took the Cowboys to the Super Bowl. He took the Broncos he took 2 different teams to Super Bowls. So Craig Morton was a decent quarterback. It's just when you can't block, you got no running game. I mean, I love Doug Coder. He's one of my favorite. Ron Johnson and Doug Coder are my 2 favorites of all time. But we really didn't have a running game, and we had no star wide receivers, and we couldn't block. I mean, Craig Morton can only do so much. So, so we really didn't have much. I mean, but here it's like, even last year we still stunk. And we had Waller, right? We had Saquon Barkley, right? But this year, at least we had Malik Neighbors, right? So, we didn't have there was no Malik Neighbors on the Giants in the 70s. I can show you that. There was no Saquon Barkley on it. I mean, we had Ron Johnson. Ron Johnson was a fantastic, and then his knees started getting injured. Right, but in 70 and 72 with Ron Johnson, we had winning records. Ron Johnson ran for over 1,000 yards 2 times, and we had winning records. So when he was healthy, we had winning records, and he ran for over 1,000 yards. But once he started getting dinged up, I said we had, we had Dawkins, we had Kotar, and then once 76 rolled around, we had Zonka, Billy Taylor, and Gordon Bell, and guys like that. I mean, right? So we didn't have any unbelievable talent in the 70s. I said we had a couple of good quarterbacks. We had Fran Tarkenton from 67 to 71, right? And then we had Craig Morton. So we had a couple of decent quarterbacks, but we just did not really have a ton of talent on the offense. And I said, it's kind of getting there. But it's not quite there yet. This is the worst. I mean, as bad as you might think it is. It's still not as bad as it was in the 70s. We had 76, 77. We had back-to-back 12-point seasons, 12 points per game. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're going back 50 years ago. 12 points per game is worth a little bit more than – it's like the dollar. $1 back then was worth a little bit more than it is nowadays. You know what I mean? Because, nowadays everything's pass. A lot of teams are averaging well into the 20s. If you average 15 points a game, you're not winning nothing. Well, back then, if you're scoring 12 points a game, you're really not winning. But, 12 points a game, at least back then, was a little more valuable than it is nowadays. Because, a lot of teams ran the ball a lot back then. The passing game was nowhere near what as advanced as it is today. I remember, what was it, one of the championship games, the Dolphins, I think, threw the ball 5 times. Won the championship. Man, it was 73 championship game. Well, let me see. Let's check this out here. Let's see. 1973 AFC championship game. One of these games, Greasy threw the ball 5 times. Oh, my bad. He threw the ball 6 times. He was 3 out of 6 for 34 yards. And actually threw an interception too. But they ran the ball 53 times. 53 times they ran the ball. And so, and they easily beat the Raiders 27-10. Although it was 17-10 going into the fourth quarter. So it was a very close game. Very good. Was a very good game. But Zonker's 2-yard touchdown run made it 27-10 and put the game out of reach. But I mean, but as I said, but the 73 championship, some things have changed. The 73 championship game, Bob Greasy of the Miami Dolphins threw the ball 6 times. That ain't happening. That ain't happening today. I guarantee you that. Ain't no AFC, ain't no championship game. And the game was played in Miami. Beautiful weather. It wasn't like it was a tornado down there or it was a tsunami or there was snow or not like that. Nope. He threw the ball 6 times. As I said, we got teams nowadays throwing the ball 6 times in a row on the same drive because we don't run the ball as much. So I said, so 12 points back then was a little different than it is nowadays because nowadays the points are, you get a little more points scoring than they were back then. But worst offense of all time? Nah, not quite. I mean, the 70s were still, it was still, it's just as bad as painful as it is now. I mean, we stink now. We stunk back then. Right, from 73 to 80, we didn't have a winning season. Right, no playoffs from 73 to from 64 to 80, we had no playoffs. But 70 and 72, we had winning records now. So, but from 73 to 80, losing records, horrible offense. The defense was usually pretty good, but we just couldn't score any points back then. It was absolutely horrible, absolutely horrible. So, as far as this year's offense being the worst of all time, nah, not quite. It's getting there. I mean, if we start putting up 3 points and 7 points quite a few more times throughout the season, and we start dipping down to 12, 13 points, yeah, I'd have to give it probably to maybe the worst offense of all time. But, I mean, as of right now, I don't think so. I don't think so. Said I've lived through the 70s, and those were some painful. As bad as this offense is, the offenses from the 70s were just even a little bit more painful. All right, guys, it's been 1 hour and 13 minutes. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.